Okay, welcome back to another episode working on the HZ Kingswood. Now, it's been about a year since I've actually worked on the car at all. Just went to fire it up then and it wouldn't start at all. The carby was all gummed up, so I had to pull the carby off, pull it apart, clean it out. And yeah, now she starts up. So the car runs, moves, goes into gear, brakes work. But now we've got a lot of body work, interior, all that fun stuff to do. So let's get into it. So I just changed my game plan up a little bit. I've just roughened up the surface just with some 80 grit on a random orbital, and then I'm going to coat these with paint stripper, and making the surface that bit porous will just help the paint stripper sink in, and then I should be able to just scrape off all that paint.
All right, this is the good bit.
Check out how good these panels have come off. I gave them a quick wipe over just with some thinners and a rag just to get the excess off, and there's just a bit of primer left over and just the bare metal. So that's one of the front doors there, and then the back door down here. Once again, it's got so much paint off and there's heaps of bog in that front door as well. Let's get stuck into finishing off the rear on the car. Alright, it's a new day, so that old putty that we had gone completely off. It was a couple of years old, so just ducked down to Super Cheap, got some new filler, also some new primer, and we're going to start laying it onto these panels. Alright, so now I'm going to go around and sand the outside of the car. There's a couple of spots where there's a lot of orange peel on the previous coat, and a couple of spots where the primer needs to be sanded and a bit of filler. So I'm going to go around, wet sand just a couple of those areas on the car. Then I'm going to take the car out, because it's been sitting here for so long, it's full of dust and stuff, so I'm actually going to give it a wash, let it dry outside because it's a nice hot day today. And then the next couple of days when I'm ready to start actually painting this, it'll be a bit easier just to clean the surface with some prep solvent rather than trying to wipe off the years of dust and wasting all that prep solvent. So we're going to go ahead then and do that now. Alright, so I'm still waiting for this putty to dry, but while we're doing that, we're going to start disassembling these two-piece dragway wheels that I've got for the car, so that we can sand down the centres and respray them. yesterday I finally got the centers out and I cleaned the wheels up. Now my initial plan was to get new outer rims and then polish up these dragway centers and put some bigger outer rims. So these are 14-inch rims and I was planning to go to 15s. But to get new rims, I found out yesterday it's going to be about $600 each just for that. And that's way more than I'm willing to spend. So I'm just going to clean this up, polish them, polish these, put them back together. Now these are pretty hard to get back in, so I'm trying to figure out with this one if it's going to be quicker to polish this on the bench polisher and polish this once this is out of it, or if the time to put these in and out isn't going to make it worth it and I should just polish them the rest of the other three while they're all together. So I'm going to try and get this back in. It's really hard to get these bolt holes in here lined up with the holes in here, so I'm going to give that a go now. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with how that test wheel turned out. So I think for the rest of them though, I'll probably just do all the polishing and cleaning with the inner and the outer together, just because of the amount of time it takes to remove them, especially those bolts were really rusted in there. They took a lot of heating to get out and the heads got damaged a little bit. So I'll replace the bolts on that one there and the rest of them I'll just clean up as they are. So I'm at the point where I'm happy with this panel. When I first got this whole panel here, this whole bit was just covered in one big layer of filler. So they just smeared it across this whole section, sanded it down, and then went, you know, problem solved. But what really needs to be done is filling it in the low points and bringing it level with the rest of the panel, not simply just adding a layer. So we've done that now. You'll see, you can just see some of the metal there underneath. There's some dents along there, and there's that big dent in there as well, which we did bash out a little bit from the inside, and we just needed that to fill it. So now we're going to go ahead and work on the big dent on the car. Holy cow, that was an absolute mission. I'm covered in dust, and so is the whole shed. Good thing I washed the car yesterday. Alright, now I'm going to start prepping some panels and prepping some paint. Alright, just got all of the inside of the doors done with the primer filler. That came out really nice. I was pretty happy with that. So now we're just going to be waiting for all of that stuff to dry. Going to get a couple of other little things done. But that's all for this video, so there's definitely going to be more videos coming soon. As I said, working on this car full time now, so hopefully we'll have weekly videos coming out. So check out the last video to see how much progress we've made, and catch you next time. Cheers.